It was a quiet Thursday morning when Sarah and I first met at a coffee shop that knew our orders before we even said our names. She was sipping a cappuccino and reading by the window. The morning light made her auburn hair shine. I slid into the seat across from her and commented on the book in her hand. She smiled, said it was weird how much the right story could feel like home. And so our conversation began. By month 3, we were inseparable. Her apartment was minimalist light wood, crisp linens, soft ambient music. She was the kind of person who alphabetized her books by author's birth year. She was dignified, quiet, organized, exactly what I needed after messy past relationships. She was mature, calm, secure. That all changed the day I saw the box. We'd been together 6 months and decided to move in together. The first day I arrived, I noticed a small red wooden box perched atop a high shelf in her closet. It was too neat to be clearly placed there, no dust, polished. Only she could have done that. She never mentioned it. And whenever I helped her with folding laundry, her hands would hover protectively near it. One night, while I was hanging clothes, I nudged it accidentally. She froze. I'd never seen her expression change so sharply. She said nothing, just reached up and moved the box herself. Her lips were a thin line. "Hey, are you hiding something?" I only said it because I was curious. She just shook her head, voice uncharacteristically hard. "Please don't touch it. It's personal." Part of me respected her boundaries, but part of me couldn't forget the look in her eyes that night. Genuine fear or anger, I never knew when that box appeared threatened. Weeks passed. Nothing changed. But on the night she went to her sister's wedding, staying overnight, I found myself standing in the closet. I climbed on a folding chair, reached for the box, pulled it down. My breath caught when I saw the latch. It was locked. I found a hairpin. Click, lid creaked open, dust floating into the light. Inside were teeth. Human teeth. Laid out meticulously as if by a dentist. Some large, some small. Molars, canines, incisors, some with fillings, some cracked. I ran a fingertip over one. It felt hard and cold. And all of this in a neat row. Under the last tooth was a photo, black and white, of a young girl, probably 10, holding hands with an older woman, who looked identical to Sarah. Cold dread crept in when I recognized the handwriting. On the back, "She's always with me." Same handwriting later etched across the inside of the lid. I slammed it shut, hurriedly returned it on the shelf, cleaned up the chair, tried to erase the memory as if it were a nightmare. But when Sarah returned, I couldn't breathe normally. She watched me unpack plates in silence. Finally, I swallowed the fear and asked softly, "Did you hide that box because—" Her face was calm, blank like a curtain drawn over windows. Then she said, "You shouldn't have touched it." I said, "What is in there?" She gave me the kind of look you give a toddler who just broke a vase. Something like pity. "Some things are not for you to know." And she walked away quietly, like nothing had happened. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, staring at the closet door. The fact I was still inside her apartment felt like betrayal, but I still cared about her. Loving someone doesn't switch off the creepiest things, but fear does. 3 nights later, I packed my things and left while she was asleep. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I just walked out. A month went by. I was safe enough. Then I got a small cardboard box in the mail. No return address. Inside was one human tooth with the exact filling I had as a kid. When I got fish fillet in a root canal, I recognized it as mine in an instant. I marked that filling scar when I was 8. I'd left it in my father's attic with a note, just in case. It clicked. She had it, she kept it, she mailed it. The message was clear: she's still with you. I blocked her number and changed my address. But tonight, I'm looking at my water glass, and half an hour ago, something tapped the box beside my bed. Not hard, quiet and slow. I'm not sure if I imagined it. I met Emily at the indie bookstore downtown, one of those dusty, second-hand places with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves and a lingering smell of old paper. I asked her opinion on the book, and we chatted for an hour. She had this calm, quiet intelligence, never forced, always gentle. I remember thinking, this is someone who truly listens. I asked her out that afternoon. By Friday, she stood in front of my apartment door with takeout sushi, a shy smile, and a single painting she'd made just for me. It was a moment that felt like warmth after a storm, simple, peaceful, and real. In the beginning, everything felt easy. Dates in the park, slow Sunday mornings with black coffee, her paint-stained fingers tracing my wrist. I loved how she crinkled her nose when she laughed. If I had to sum her up in one word, I'd say quiet. Not in a dull or empty way, but in the sense that she brought rest to chaos. I hadn't felt that in years. Then came the nights. Emily worked as a freelance illustrator, meaning her schedule looked peaceful but fluctuated wildly. I worked nights, editing video footage. Our routines didn't clash. I'd come home bleary-eyed. She'd be up reading or sketching in the living room. I thought maybe she had insomnia. But it wasn't insomnia, it felt purposeful. One cold January night, I stumbled out of bed at 3:12 a.m. For water. I know the exact time because I glanced at the clock. I walked past our bedroom door and saw light under the living room curtain. Curious, I followed it. There was Emily, sitting on the floor, facing the wall in total darkness, only the clock's glow illuminating her face. Not on her phone? Not reading. Just I said her name softly. She didn't turn. I repeated it louder. She finally faced me. Her eyes were wide awake, but it wasn't the refreshed, restful look I'd expect. It was hollow, almost burdened. She said, "Sorry, I didn't want to wake you." I told her it was okay and went back to bed, pretending nothing strange happened. Then it happened again, and again, for weeks. I'd walk by and find her carving away at a painting at 4 a.m., or just standing still, staring into corners. I joked at first, artistic mood, deep work, but later I realized something was wrong. Really wrong. I remember one morning she came into our bedroom just as I was falling asleep again, soft carpet under her bare feet. I opened my eyes half awake. "Are you okay?" she whispered. She nodded but didn't lie, just shrugged. Odd, I thought. A month in, I realized she never slept. At least not like me. I'd wake up exhausted. She was always quiet, gently alert. Then came the watching when I pretended to sleep. I lay there, breath shallow, and saw her silhouette lean over me, face inches from mine. Her hair brushed my cheek. She'd breathe calmly, gently, and stand there for minutes, hours when I dared to open an eye. She'd vanish. No ghosty retreat. Just one moment I'd sense her, the next she'd be gone. I started keeping a camera in the corner of the room, mostly to joke with her about it later. But one night it recorded her silhouette drifting, feet moving like a slow dancer. When it reached the knit stand, she paused, looked right at me, and crouched. Voice soft, "It's better now." Then she walked out quietly. I pressed her. She said things like, "I just need more time," or "I think in the dark," but she never said what she needed time for. It got ugly. I'd snap at her. She'd cry and say she didn't understand why I was angry. I didn't know either. I told her I thought it was weird, unhealthy, and she replied, expression calm as stone, "Your world needs sleep. Mine doesn't." I stopped sleeping in our bedroom. Every night I slept on the couch. I changed jobs, started pretending to work late so I could avoid her. She'd sit quietly, unbothered. No calls, no arguments. Just, watching. Finally, one night I told her I couldn't live like that. I asked her to leave, just go somewhere, get help. She blinked slowly, said, "So quiet if I sleep." That sounded like relief in her voice and terror in me. I left that morning. I packed a bag quietly and moved to my sister's apartment across the city. It's been 6 months. I sleep again. My nights are still too bright, too loud. I wake up at random times, jump to full wake, expect her in the corner watching. Some nights I dream of her standing in the dark, silhouette illuminated by a single light. I pray I'll never see her again. Or maybe I pray I'll never forget. This is where my life changed. It sounds crazy, but I swear I believed it at first. It started with a dream, and not mine. I met Jenna at an art workshop, charcoal sketching live model. She was shy, reserved, with wide contemplative eyes. We chatted about lines and shadows, then coffee, then the next workshop. Within a month, we were head over heels. She was sweet, genuine. We shared playlists, Netflix marathons, lazy Sunday lunches. I loved how she tucked her hair behind her ear when she laughed. She was kind but also spiritual. Very spiritual. She believed in energy, aura colors, signs. I thought it was harmless, maybe even charming. Then she started telling me about her dreams. First they were simple. I dreamed you were in Italy. Then more specific. I dreamed your phone died in a hospital waiting room. I'd say it's coincidence. She'd say, you don't realize, but you were. I'd listen, nod politely, walk away unsettled. Then one night before bed, she said, tone quiet but insistent, I'm worried about you tonight. You shouldn't go to work tomorrow. I joked, said I'd taken the bus instead of driving. That night I glanced at my phone at 2:47 a.m. and saw a missed call from Jenna. I listened to her voicemail. Though I'd fallen asleep and all I heard was static. It ended with, don't, whispered. Next day I drove anyway, had 10-minute delay, but got to the office safe. I still don't know what she meant. I called her later, she answered and just said, some dreams are warnings. Then came the nightmares. She told me the first one, you're in the hallway. Blood is seeping from your eyes. Time is 3:11 a.m. and I'm standing behind you but can't reach you. I shivered, shook it off, but something was off when she described it. That night, torrent of anxiety. I woke up at 3:11 a.m. feeling like I'd been running, though I'd been asleep. My eyes felt like they would bleed. I had lack of breath, cold sweat. I panicked. Was it psychosomatic, her dream triggering my mind? I didn't tell her. Didn't want to admit I'd taken it seriously. But Jenna knew. She asked, did you wake at 3:11? I nodded, startled. She didn't look surprised, but relief washed over her. She said, now it's happening on both sides. The atmosphere changed. I felt watched. I felt wrong. One night she had a full-blown sleep episode, eyes wide open. Body convulsing, whispering names I'd never heard. Vera? Jonah? I tried to wake her, but she sighed and brushed my hand away. Voice strange, low. He's not here yet. But he's close? Her morning face was hollow. She told me she wasn't herself, that some dream shadow was haunting us. And I began to see it, two hallway reflections that shifted. Quick glimpses out of the corner of my eye. My heart pounding at exactly 3:11. I tried to intervene. I told her we should slow down, see someone. She refused, solemn as a ritual. Don't think, just listen. And then the strangest thing happened. One morning I didn't come home. I spent the day at a friend's. When I returned, the apartment was dark, windows open to the night. Jenna stood in the hallway unmoving. I said her name. She turned slowly. Eyes were black as oil. She whispered, I'm sorry. It was never just me. There was blood on her hands. Not from her. From me on the doorframe. I can't remember when I cut my hand, but there it was. The room spun. She said softly, it's in you now too. I don't remember packing, walking out. I woke 3 hours later in my car. I drove away. It's been 3 months. I sleep again. Kind of. But sometimes I wake at 3:11 a.m. and I swear I see a figure. Black shadow at the hallway end. I slam the covers over my head, scream sometimes in my mind. Because Jenna said, it was never just me.